Hello, everyone. Let me get back to the page here. Hope everyone's doing all right. As we've got ourselves another attempt to get this regulator clodbuster going. So we'll see how far I can get. Sorry for the late start. Had a little trying to figure some stuff out, and was trying to get organized and just wasn't quite getting there. So trying to get organized and just sounds good. Wasn't quite getting there. So got another big weekend of racing coming up. Got Family Friday off-road on Friday, and our second round of the carpet off-road triple scoop. I'm counting down the days before we go back to dirt full-time. So we've got this Saturday, next Saturday, and the following Saturday. So basically the entire month of February left to go, including our big race here, the carpet off-road crash-in, which I just approved the awards for today. And we'll get that going. Should be really good. Then back to dirt March 5th. Full time until next October. Got the Summer Series schedule out. Got the flyer out. Got the ProTech race out. Got to start thinking about awards for that one. And you know, that one we always do top 10 plus lower mains. I think it's really important to do that. Does the Plex have any leftover golds? We do not. We sold all 50 of our gold ellipses on Friday. Actually, we were out before the weekend even really started. So, nope. Sorry. That's just the way it goes with that. When I knew that would happen because, you know, nobody's got them. So if we're going to be the ones to get them, then sell out. So in fact, I'm already starting to get a little nervous about the 10 scale. I mean, we still have a lot of tires in stock, but that number is actually dwindling pretty quickly here. So I might have to hit everybody up for some supply here pretty shortly. Shoot. Why do I always drop stuff? Every single time. I don't think that's it. Where did that go? The struggle bus of the century is real. Yeah, I might hit him up for some more actually, for sure, just to make sure we try to have some for that last round. And I'm probably gonna keep my eye open. I'm definitely gonna keep my eye open during the summertime too. This year, I'm just gonna, when they're in stock, I'm just going to order them and just kind of hang on to them so that we can try to maintain some level of stock for the entire series next year. Because, you know, who knows when this stuff's going to go back to, you know, open stock for these guys. If places are going to be pushing all these mandates for people who don't need them, like truckers and stuff, and you know, who knows, next will be shipping yards and all that crap. So I'm just I'm curious to see how that really goes. over the next year. I don't know. It's gotten better for us in the hobbies, but it's also some things you just scratch your head at, like why in the world are we out of these? I think Traxxas right now is out of like 54 tooth spur gears, which is the spur gear that they put on every single one of their 4-wheel drive cars. And so if somebody breaks one of those, guess what? You know, they're not going to have any. That's the wrong one. So it's such weird things. So with the regulator behind the axle steering, you have to flip your knuckles, and I was having some trouble getting that servo back there, but I think I figured out how to do it. So we're gonna see what happens. But I think I'm going to install this guy before I do any of that, because that turned out to be a much bigger pain in the butt than I thought it was going to be. So yeah, got my Clod Buster here, and I'm with the regulator chassis all put together. Got my Traxxas shocks on there, and the last thing to do is to get this behind the axle steering kind of put on. Last week I just kind of, I don't know if you guys ever get like this, but like your head gets into a place where you can't really concentrate anymore, so you feel like you're going to make a big mistake on something. And that's kind of where I was last week. That's why I put this thing off to the side, because I was like, man, kind of out of it, you know. Bender wants to know, when is on-road on Wednesdays? So the doors open at 4, just like we do on Fridays, and they start racing at 7, just like we do with everything else. And they're usually done by about 9:30. It's kind of like Tiny Tuesdays. The way he runs it, if there's usually... They'll usually do something like have 3 mains, so they won't really have a qualifier if there's only one heat of everything, and so that kind of makes it fun because you're just racing heads up the entire night. And yeah, it can be kind of fun that way. I like doing that when I had the time to play on Wednesdays. Any ideas for the layout for the ProTech race? Yes. I think we're going to have a crossover again. I've been thinking of a new way to do one again that does it in a way where it's not there might be like the least amount of stress for getting those things going. So I don't have my thing down here. You know, a lot of times I'll have my sketchbook with me, and I can kind of show you guys, but I actually don't have that on me right now, so sorry. But I think I might be able to just pop that off and see if I can do this without breaking it. So last week I was putting on these brass balls on here, and the damn thing broke. Luckily, Tamiya gives you a few extra, but I was kind of flipping out that I had let myself break one of those things. Yeah, Daniel, I know. Same thing with Tiny Tuesday. You know, I actually think Tiny Tuesday is going to be one of those race nights that grows in the summertime, because we're going to have some kids come out that normally can't because it's a school night. So, you know, the Wednesday crowd, you know, to be quite frank with you, they're kind of an adult crowd. So you know, it's never really been a necessarily a kids' night for racing like Fridays, you know, usually are. So we're going to try this again. Ben, we run the 1/18 scale stuff, so like the Mini T and the Mini B, and we've had some guys starting to show up again with the Latrax 18 scale cars, which I think is perfect for. I've always thought that that'd be an ideal 4-wheel drive class, and they work remarkably well, even with stock tires. They work really, really well. So, yeah, so Mini Bs, Mini Ts. In fact, I was going to be working on my Mini B tonight, and I left the parts at work again. Like I said, it just sometimes just don't think straight, and I'm like forget stuff. So, you know. Daniel, we actually had 4, but the 2 guys broke after we were closed, and they didn't want to wait for me to get parts for them. So we actually did have more than 2 guys. We actually had 4. The previous week we only had 2, but again, that was just. I mean, I was just happy to see. Oh, look at that! I was just happy to see him because, you know, to see people out there, because I was really worried that. I was starting to get worried that we weren't going to get kind of the turnout for that. Yeah, my Mini B's over here. Hang on a second. So my son has really been working on these cars, and he's got his really fast. He's got a really fast motor in it. Mine just needs a new gearing, because my motor's not. I mean, my motor's fast, but it's geared wrong, so it's kind of slow. But dude, these Mini Bs are pretty remarkable, and I got a brand new battery. Unfortunately, we don't have any solder tonight, so we can't. I wanted to. We changed over to Dean's plugs, so I wanted to put. I wanted to clean this wiring up a little bit, and without any solder, of course, you can't do that. So I got to remember to pick some up from the place tomorrow. But dude, these are super fun. I would highly recommend it. Plus, we're gonna have the Mini T Melee at the crash in, and I'm totally racing in it this time. So, my goal is to have like 20 of these running all at once for the Mini T Melee. I think it's gonna be a blast. Well, that's just it. You don't put any money into the. So Bender just said, don't know if it's worth to put money into a Latrax pre-runner, and you don't. You don't put money into your Latrax pre-runner. You just show up and you race it, and don't worry about hopping it up, because they work really, really well, just as they are on the carpet. So, yeah, you don't put money into a Latrax pre-runner, or a Teton or anything like that. Maybe if you break the axle, because the axles definitely break on the Trax cars, and you can basically get a hot racing or even the Traxxas metal versions for like $20, and then not have that problem anymore. So it's pretty fun. Ben, yeah, these are, so we have a stock Mini B, and they're, what are they now? They're 139, 149, ready to run with the stock slow motor. Or you get the Mini B roller, which is what I got Emerson for Christmas, and then you put your own electronics into it, and it's relatively cheap. So the battery is $10. The servo is $20. The speed controller and motor system is $50, And then I had a DX3 lying around, so I just bought a $29 receiver and got myself a little race car. The tires are just carpet tires from right now from Proline until J Concepts gets some fronts for the buggy, and we run those, and they're gonna last the whole time. Like you know, there's hardly any tire wear at all, so it's a cheap, fun thing to get into, and it's one of those deals where it's carpet off road, so it's very similar to the 10 scale stuff, just you know, the way it is. Daniel, it has bent shock shafts. Must be your Latrax car, because it's not mine. You had to make me look. I was like, what? No. So yeah, we got kind of a mess going on tonight. Honestly, I don't really have anything to work on. My e-buggy's at the shop, and my 10 scale fleet's all fixed. I do have a stadium truck now, thanks to Nick Natal and or Natali, and you know, we'll get that all fixed up pretty soon. Travis Kiesel's on here telling me to get a haircut, dude. I'm not getting a haircut. I am never going to cut my hair ever again. The thing I learned the most from COVID is that who needs haircuts, right? We weren't allowed to get a haircut for a while, so what do I need a haircut for? So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this brace off and mount the servo stuff up that way, and then put it back on when I'm done here. So I think that's what I'm going to do. If I can get it off of there. Why is that not coming off of there? Oh, I don't know about you guys, but I actually took an inventory of my RC car collection, and not to brag or anything. In fact, I'm almost embarrassed by this number, but I apparently have 100. No, sorry. I have. Here's a number for you. I have 49 RC cars right now. And the funny thing about that is that last year I told my wife that I was done collecting cars and buying stuff. And that was a big lie. Right? Like, so yeah, if you count the 3 minis that we have, thanks to Mike Soltow, we actually picked up those. You know, there's 4 or 5 of them. The race car fleet, plus the 2 that are at work, all these back here, and then oh, and then like the fire team and the triple XS I have up there. I had to like remember where I was stashing this stuff at because I kind of forgot. So yeah, that's kind of dumb, but what are you gonna do? Travis Kiesel back in Dirt Oval. Okay. Use 3x8 button head, which are going to be these. And I bet you it's these right here. Yeah, right? You got to collect something. I don't know. It's kind of a psychopathic thing, though, like, in many ways. It's almost like a it's almost like a addiction in many ways, you know. Cody Mosier just picked up a T62 for dirt. And yeah, I did too. I think Emerson's going to run it, actually, if he wants to. I've been trying to talk him into it. So it's got to be that one. So it's got to be here. I had this in here once. This year, Jackson Anderson says that this year the Winter Series has had tougher competition than any series in years past. Basically, is what we're getting at here, and I kind of think that I agree with you there. It's been good. Mark Santa Maria has over 100. I can tell you that one of the benefits of getting cars sent to you too is that the next thing you know, you start running out of room. So one of these days, I'm going to get to that point where I'm just straight up out of room. I'll have to build more shelves. I'm like looking around every day, wondering how I'm going to make that happen. Yeah, Jackson Anderson's talking about how last year it was I don't know. Well, we've had more people this year too, just in general. I actually just did I've been really working on getting our door prizes set up, because for me that's a big thing, you know. I mean, it's stuff that I promise that we're gonna have, and if I don't deliver, you know, then I feel like I'm letting you guys down. So, I just acquired us about 100 and something door prizes from TLR and from Horizon Hobby. And then I got a whole bunch of stuff from ProTech and J Concepts as well. So I think my goal is for everything to have 2 people. Everybody to have at least 2 things is what I was trying to say. So that's my goal. And I don't know, I guess we'll see. We'll see if we get there or not. Along with the grand prize, you know, the big stuff. For me, it's about the little stuff too. I always want to have everybody have at least a couple things so that they can say, you know, not only did they come to race, but at the end, oh, hey, check out this little thing I got that I can use in my pit area, or whatever it is, you know. This servo fits so tight in here that it's pretty difficult to get this thing in there. That's the kind of the trouble I was having last week. I was kind of hoping, I mean, I was like, how in the world does this go in there? And I think they said to loosen up the motor, and I actually got this thing in there once, so without having it hooked up to the brace. So this behind the axle steering, so these Clod busters have this little these top braces right here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's like a side to side brace, and so this servo actually mounts to that brace. And I was having a hard time getting it in there, so I thought, well, I'll just take it out and I can slide it in that way. And even that's sort of being difficult, I guess. Peter Renault, I think I know where all the tests are. My wife and I got two. Well, this house got 2 free tests we didn't even ask for out of the blue. So it's probably you can blame the Americans on that one. The Biden administration's like, I know how to solve COVID. We're gonna send everyone tests. Everyone's gonna get tested, and then all the tests go out, and it's probably like all the masks where they just end up on the ground, and nobody actually uses them, and yeah, because you know, tests. There we go. Come on. Okay, so there's that hole, and I gotta make sure I don't strip this when I put this back in. Jason Klein, who makes the Bigfoot kit in the background? Are you talking about that one? So that is an MST. That's their MST monster truck, and with a Traxxas, the Traxxas Stampede Bigfoot body on it. The original. I'll show you the original body it had on it. It's basically they were trying really hard to be Bigfoot without actually being Bigfoot. Let me show you. I think I have it. Yeah, there it is. So MST actually makes a 2-wheel drive and a 4-wheel drive monster truck, and this is the 4-wheel drive one, and the body that was on it. This is the body, right here. See? So they were trying really hard to be Bigfoot without actually being Bigfoot. So I looked at that Traxxas body, and I was like, I bet you that fits. And so I had an extra, actually had 2. I've got another Bigfoot, a Stampede Bigfoot down here that's brand new out of the box. It's just a shelf clean, just because I thought they weren't going to make them for a while. And so when I saw that there was one out there, I just snagged it. But anyways, so I took the extra body I had and I put it on this monster truck because it's 4-wheel drive. The Stampede one's not. It's 2-wheel drive. Just to have a 4-wheel drive version of it. So I thought it looked really good. I've actually ran this truck a couple times, and it's a wheeling truck. Like, it really likes to wheelie, so I don't want to mess the body up too much, but I thought for a good shelf truck, it would look a lot better with the actual Bigfoot body on it. So that's what I did. So this is the fake one. Again, you know, it's one of those things where I didn't need it, right? It was just there, so I got it. Like, oh, my computer. No, I don't want to update. Leave me alone. Yeah, I think it's an MXT1. I think you're right. The 2-wheel drive version, I think, is even smaller than that anyways. So Jason Haley says, I just used your rubber band and needle nose tip for soldering. Great pro tip. Thank you. I wish I was soldering something tonight, but my son doesn't know where our solder's at, so unfortunately, no. Ugh. We're getting ready to put that extra row of pits back here pretty soon, and kind of building up motivation to do all that work. Chris is on here. Hey, what's up? Love the track last weekend. Went well. Had fun. Thank you. Track's pretty good. Got a little beat up, but I don't know. That's to be expected when you have 246 entries on a single day race. Places around there have got to be going like, who does that? You know? Man, this is tight in here. Cannot believe how tight that is. And how I'm supposed to have this piece come down far enough. The rubber band tip, so if you don't have a vise or a soldering jig, you just take a pair of, and you want to hold on to something without burning your fingers. You see, where's my pliers at? So you take a pair of pliers and like a tire band. And you just sort of rig up your own vise, right? So just like that. I think Travis Kiesel up there asked about what race Emerson and I are going to. We actually just signed up for the J Concepts INS spring race in Virginia. Tom Smith, me, Will Brinton, and Emerson are all going to go. And I'm racing, I'm going to race 13.5 buggy and Old Man mod 40 plus. And Emerson's going to race mod 2 wheel and 13.5 stadium truck. So it's going to be a good time. We're driving, so that'll be fun. Whoa, I almost dropped that. Yeah, I have been to trophy races with far fewer entries either. In fact, this year, the Techno Series itself has actually had more entries at every single round than at any of our previous weekend Nitro races. So we used to have the Byron's race every October. I think once or twice we had it in July. And then before that, we had the J Concept Spring Nats. And we never broke 200 at those things. So I do have a plan for next year to probably lessen the amount of entries just to make it a little bit more tolerable for everybody. There we go. Now that's going to go in there. And I'll kind of announce that as we get going. But, you know, that's a lot. I mean, we're getting through it in really good time, and it's pretty impressive. But at the same time, you know, it would be nice to get out of there at, say, you know, 10:30 instead of 12:30. So I'm not complaining. You know, I think we've been doing an amazing job getting through all that. I really want to keep this bumper on here, but it's like the mount won't let that on there now. That makes me sad. I really wanted to run that bumper. I wonder if I can just run the bottom bumper somehow, like on this side. In fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. Well, we got some Boba Fett talk. Hang on here. So, let's see. Mando's not going to end up in Obi-Wan 2 because Obi-Wan's dead. So, Mandalorian takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi, and Obi-Wan's been dead since A New Hope. So, That ain't gonna happen. But what is gonna happen is this is what I think is gonna happen. There's a line in A New Hope, and they're fighting, and he's like, and Darth Vader's like saying something about my powers are, or your powers are weak, something mine are better from the last time we met, or something like that. And I think they're gonna explore. I think that line is the catalyst for the show. So I think that's what's gonna happen. I might be wrong, but I don't know. All right, for the ProTech or J Concepts, are there specific tires? Spec tires? No, there's not. In fact, there's not even spec tires at the J Concepts race this year, so you shouldn't have to worry about that at all. There will not be any sort of spec tire. What else do we got? Nick Sneathen, why doesn't the store stay open after 6 on Winter Series nights? That is a very good question. The honest answer is that nobody but me is willing to stay there past 6 on a Saturday. That's the honest answer. If I could change that, trust me, I would. If we could have somebody that would work, that'd be willing to stay up there and just kind of hang out and wait for people to buy stuff. If it was worth the store staying open, we might be able to do it, but that's kind of the hard part. What is the relationship between Reedy and Kicker? So I think they were trying to cross marketing or whatever, and it's just sort of stayed that way. I'm not sure it's anything more than that. Associated sells those little kicker pods, and Reedy might get, and Team Associated might get some advertising on the other side, or maybe a new market to sell RC car stuff in. I honestly, I think that's all it really is. So Disney is dead to me. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough being in this environment where you're torn between not wanting to support something because you know the stupidity behind some of the decisions they've made, but at the same time, you want to see what Dave Filoni can do, like can bring to the screen. It's such a weird position to be in. To be honest with you, it's like being a fan of why isn't that going in there? It's like being a fan of Pearl Jam or Neil Young, right? I got Pearl Jam posters all over there, right? I've been a Pearl Jam fan forever. Do I agree with some of their comments or some of their political stances? No. But I do like the music, so what are you going to do, And it's like, I kind of like Neil Young. And do I agree with what he's just done recently with Spotify and all that? No. But if his song comes up on Pandora, I'll still listen to it. So it's kind of the way I think about it. Unless something happens egregiously, like I won't buy Nike shoes anymore. I actually tried to talk my wife out of buying Nike shoes this weekend because I was like, why do you want to buy from a company that does all the sweatshop stuff, but also gives lots and lots of money to people who would, not really agree with many things that I agree with. So it's a tough spot, no doubt about it. All right, where This is always taking too long. I need to find my snips. I'm just gonna cut this off because it doesn't go on there, but I think it'll just kind of be free. Looks like crap, but you know. No, I know, Jason. I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going too crazy. I just with anything. I just, you know. What are you gonna do? I've personally have liked most of the Disney shows that are out. You know, am I pissed that they took away the name Slave One? Yeah. Am I upset that they put disclaimers on the Sesame Street shows? Yeah. You know, it's such a weird place to be. And we're forced to be in that weird place. All right, there was a tool that was supposed to be here. And I must have put it away. So you just sort of take this and come on, don't want to break it. There we go. Yeah, the best episodes of the Boba Fett show were the two that had nothing to do with Boba Fett. That's what kind of bummed me out. Like they turned Boba Fett into kind of a pussy in a way. Like, you know, until the last episode, but then you're like, well, why didn't you just get in your fire spray and just go shoot everybody, you know? I don't know. You would think that would be an option. I did freak out when Cad Bane showed up, though. I thought that was pretty sick. Again, episode 5. Or 6. When is it? Wait, it was episode 5 and 6. Yeah, I think that they just... I think the pacing was just off on this show. Like they could have gotten, I think, a little bit more done right away instead of trying to spread all that out in those first 4 episodes. And it kind of made sense at the end, you know, but at the same time, you're just kind of, I don't know. Like I didn't have a whole lot of, like I didn't really care that much, you know, what happened to any of the characters that they introduced, because I feel like they didn't get enough time to develop anyways, I guess. Does that make sense? I was talking about this today at the shop, and it's like, why do we kill off good characters in defiance of ways that they should have been killed off? And this goes in, maybe you guys don't agree with me with this or not. I don't know. You can always comment. We'll find out. I think for me, like one of the first instances of that I ever came across was Captain Kirk. They killed Captain Kirk off in Generations in such an insignificant way. Like he fell down a cliff, right? And yeah, he was trying to make a difference, but Captain Kirk should have been up there in that Enterprise battling it out with the Klingons while everybody else escaped and going down with the ship, because that's what Captain Kirk would have done. Instead, They made him die in like this crappy, you know, falling off a having a ladder break thing. So then they kill Cad Bane. Sorry, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. But they kill Cad Bane, and they do it like with a bantha stick, where I think he should have been shot. You know, that's all. That's all I'm saying. So. And who knows? Cad Bane might not be dead. You never know in Star Wars. You never know. It was still a good fight, but I'm actually texting back Jason Rona about this truck, telling him I think I figured it out because I was struggling trying to figure out how I was going to fit that servo in there. Yeah, they brought back the Marshall. They're going to bring back the Marshall, so it's like, you know. It's always kind of funny how nobody's ever really dead in comics or in Star Wars or in, you know, in any of these kind of films. And then people that should be dead don't, you know. Oh, where did this spacer go? I actually found it and I brought it back up here so that I could use it. And I've lost it again. Why do I do this to myself? What am I missing? Yeah, the whole, like I said, the whole thing with me with this show is I just felt like Boba was just kind of a pansy until, I don't know, he just, I expected Boba Fett to be a little bit more badass than what we got, you know? That's all. I'm not disappointed in the show for the most part. I just thought Boba would be more Boba Fett like. And I'm actually kind of bummed out we didn't get any sort of like Crimson Dawn stuff or anything like that. That would have been really cool to see Kiara show up. But that didn't happen, and so you're just kind of, I don't know, just kind of left, almost kind of bored, I guess. It's the best way I can describe it. You guys know. So. Okay, so, oh, there it is. So on the behind the axle steering, you actually have to turn around the spindles. So this is back here, and that's going to run underneath of this guy. So that's what I'm doing right now. So last week, Chris just asked what I'm working on, and I'm working on my regulator Clod buster. So kind of stopped last week because I was kind of tired and kind of wasn't thinking straight, and so I put it away and figured I'd come back to it. Well, here we are. We're back to it. Nick Sneathen with a question. With the new owners, you're going to be able to redo pit lane, retaining wall, and driver stand like you've been talking about. So, yes. So I have asked one of our metalworking racers to get me like basically a bid so that we can see how much it's going to cost to put a new pit lane in. So a pit lane is one of my priorities for next year, before next winter series. And then we had talked about possibly trying to find some exhaust fans to help circulate the air in there. So like when it's not the garage door thing works great. It's tolerable until the wind is gone. When it's not windy, well then it's gets pretty stuffy in there with nitro, and it gets sucked into the pit area and all that stuff. So I have brought up maybe trying to find some exhaust fans, high powered exhaust fans to turn on, so we can maybe even keep a couple garage doors closed, and just help the air get through there. Those are my first two priorities. And again, it kind of all depends on, as always, just if the sales in the store stay good, then we might be able to get some stuff done. If the sales in the store start to dwindle for some reason, then it's going to be one of those deals where it might get put on the back burner. Hopefully not, but so far so good in that department. It's going to be up to Tim and I. We have a little bit more responsibility in the ordering for the store and making sure that we have stuff in stock, and when we don't have stuff in stock, to find out why. Is it our fault, or is it somebody, is it the distributor's fault or the manufacturer's fault, because it's not always our fault. That's the thing I hope that people understand, especially right now. Like, not everybody, a lot of these distributors just don't have stuff either. So, but like I said, so far so good with that. And I definitely have some priorities on stuff that I'm focused on getting for us fixed or improved upon, Yeah. Jackson. Jordan Keller, are you guys going to carry more Tamiya kits? Well, the Tamiya stuff is an odd thing because Tim and I have actually talked about this. We like having more Tamiya kits there because it's fun to have, some of the re-releases there, and some of the new releases and stuff. That new, I think they just re-released the Aggress and the Super Astute. Is that right? Or the Black Edition Astute, something like that. Anyways, the hard part about Tamiya is their margins are pretty bad. So it's one of those things to have a whole bunch of Tamiya kits up there, but it's another thing to have a whole bunch of Tamiya kits up there that you're not sure when they're going to sell, when you're only getting like 20% margin on them, when you should be getting more than that. It's a tough place to be in. Team Associated and Team Losi have gotten really good about leaving a little bit of meat there for the hobby stores to incentivize us to have their stuff. So, Techno, another good example. The margins are good. That's why we carry them. That's why we have them on the shelf pretty much all the time. The Tamiya stuff, not so much. So, it's one of those things where we'll probably rotate a few kits in here and there. We'll probably have, I think we're going to try to keep like 3 or 4 Tamiya kits that aren't on-road kits, because we do carry on-road kits, a lot of them. And but I think we're talking about rotating more. So like we just sold a super hot shot, and so I think we're gonna reorder something else, and then we'll have that, and then when that one sells, then we'll get something else. So we're gonna try to keep a little bit in stock, a little bit better in stock. So there you go. Hope that answers your question. Oh, Blackfoots, are they still a thing? We just sold one. We just sold a Blackfoot the other day. Yeah, Blackfoot sell. Like we'll carry. We usually have a monster beetle and a Blackfoot as long as Tamiya has them. Those are two that we pretty much try to always have. So yep, no problem, Jordan. Thanks for the question though. I always try to like explain stuff so that you guys kind of understand where we're always coming from too. Um, Havo's on here. He raced onward for the second time tonight and busted a lot of parts, but he had an absolute blast. That's what we like to see. Um, Jackson Anderson, what changes to come for the final round of the Techno series? So the stuff that I wanted to do this round, we're gonna do for the final round, and it's basically uh, there's gonna be a you're gonna come back around. So after the big jump section in front, you're gonna come up that little two-tiered elevation change, which I actually really like a lot. Then you're gonna come to a switchback and come all the way over here, up, and you're gonna drop in, hit that back jump. So that'll be it, and that should take me about a day and a half. So that'll end up being in here in a couple weeks. So, oh, we have 23 viewers right now. So you guys need to get the word out that the HobbyPlex is having a bonkers, crazy sale March 5th. We have a whole bunch of inventory left over from our Christmas buy up that didn't go as much as we thought of. So there's going to be a whole bunch of different ready to runs. Some of the stuff that we're plus on, we're going to see how many B6 3 carpet editions we have at that time. We might knock those down a bunch. But there's a lot of Arma stuff like felonies and fractions, Cretans. There's Traxxas Haas, Traxxas E Revo, Arma Vortex. What else do we have a lot of? There's a couple. There's a Carrera digital set that we still have like 5 of, and I can't tell you guys what they're gonna sell for because that'd be breaking the minimum advertised pricing policy that they have out there. But trust me, if you're interested in any of those, you're gonna want to be there March 5th. I'm gonna make the flyer. I'm gonna really try to promote it hard. So tell your friends. March 5th, Hobbytown HobbyPlex. Be there. From what distributor did you get that super hot shot? Horizon Tower doesn't have listed. I'd like to get it for Hobbytown in my city. Joe, I think Tim got it from Tamiya Direct. I'm almost 100% positive of that. Tim does most of the Tamiya ordering, but I can tell you that we have a guy that comes through. He's a trucker, and he buys a lot of vintage Tamiya stuff from us, like re-releases and all that, and also a lot of other cars too. But I think he ordered one of those, and then he actually ended up not picking that one up, and so we just had it. So I'm pretty sure it's Tamiya Direct. Because yeah, you're right. I know Horizon didn't have it when I went to go reorder it. So there you go. You're welcome. Jackson Anderson, if I special order something from the Plex, does the Plex make money on that at all? Yeah, sure we do. It's just regular stuff. It's if you The only time that we get butthurt at the store by anything that comes through the store is if somebody does a in-store ship to store. In-store pickups, it's our stuff, right? And you're buying it there. But ship to stores suck because we get none of that. We're always like, dude, and it's always something that we actually had in stock. It's really frustrating. It's very frustrating to see that. Nick Pavel, do you see any new tire methods from 1/10 dirt racing on the horizon? I don't think so, man. I think unless all of a sudden our track turns into a slick track, which it won't, I think that I think we'll be doing the same stuff. To be honest with you, I think we'll be running them in with PB Blaster and heat, and you'll be hearing all those drills going with trying to break in the foam. I think the foam break-in is probably the most important thing beyond actually breaking in the tread. I think the foam is the big deal. So I think we're just going to keep doing that. If we were a slick track, it'd probably be a little bit easier because like Smoothie 2s, we took them down to Hutch, and if it wasn't for the Hutch track being a little drier than what we were expecting, we probably would have been, at least in two-wheel drive, we would have been on slicks. Emerson ran slicks on his four-wheel drive the entire weekend. So, but I think that at least on our track, just because of the way our track is, that we need that little bit of tread on there. We'll probably all be doing the same stuff as always. I don't mind it. I've kind of gotten into this pattern where I kind of know how to get my tires to work the way I want them to work. And that first year that I committed fully to J Concepts, I struggled, but once I figured it out, it was kind of like, yeah, we're fine. Daniel says, I want to do store pickup. Do I just order and then when I'm there, just go upstairs and get the stuff and pay? Yes, that's exactly how that works. You should do that. We don't always pick it because we like if it depends on who's getting the email. So, but if it says we have it in stock, 9 times out of 10 we actually have it. So. Havo says, I appreciate the tips on the difference between the Mini T and Mini B. What are some good parts to put on that Mini B Hobby Wing system and the Racing servo you just got, wheels and tires? Yep, so those Proline, the Proline carpet wheels and tires are really good. And we're just taking a zip tie and putting around the servo saver and tightening that thing down to tighten up the servo saver a little bit more so you have more consistent steering. I would recommend, if you don't have, like the Mini B roller comes with metal bell cranks. So if you don't have that, that's a good one because those kind of break kind of easy. RPM front arms are another good thing to have. Front arms stock are a little chintzy. That's about it, really. Honestly, I haven't really broken mine yet on my own. You'll see shock towers break every once in a while. Don't replace those with anything but plastic. Unless you can find a carbon fiber one, kind of cool. Like a hot racing motor plate would be good. I think Losi makes one too, where you can move the motor to set the gear mesh, because the stock one just has holes. So that's definitely an upgrade. But beyond that, once you get wheels and tires, even the stock shocks, the plastic ones, I mean, they can break, but they're not terrible. I just got the metal ones on this because I thought they looked cool. So, I don't know. That's about it. make sure you get the big battery, the 800, not the 650. And again, yeah, wheels and tires, probably the biggest difference maker there. The stock wheels and tires actually work pretty good. They just wear out really fast on the black carpet. It's crazy how fast they actually wear out. It really is. Okay, what are we at? Wasn't sure if any of the manufacturers came out with any new 1/10 foams. I mean, J Concepts did, but I think J Concepts came out with that new foam, but I think it's for slicks. I don't think it's going to be that great for our track. It's just going to... I mean, we're already taking the foam busters to everything to make the foam softer, so you wouldn't need to get a harder foam, you know? Yeah, the Pro Roller, dude. The Mini V Roller is a really good buy. Like, I was pretty satisfied with getting that for my kid, so... Connor, yeah, I am, man. I am in the melee. Unless there's like, let's say there's like 22 or 21 cars, because Lifetime can only take 20 at once, right? So if there's 21 or 22 cars that want to race, well, then I'm out. I won't race. But if there's 20 or less cars, I'm totally in the melee. I think it'd be fun. I never win those anyways. I always end up getting wrecked or punished or punted, you know, whatever. I just need to get that pinion gear in so I can make my car faster, because Emerson and Trevor, Emerson, Logan, they're all just smoking me on the straightaway. Like, I'm getting them on the infield, but they're smoking me on the straightaway, so I just need to get my car just a little bit faster. And with the changeover, so what happened was, with the new owner, there was about a week there where we didn't have any orders. Like, we couldn't order anything because we didn't have any accounts set up. So we're about a week behind right now. Like, I had checked for a special order for a guy today, and it hadn't been shipped yet. So we're getting caught up, but I know those pinion gears are on their way. So Jason Haley, will the Plex be considered a slick track during the Pro Tech and INS races come main time? I think for four-wheel drive, I bet you that there will be guys on slicks. I think for two-wheel drive, it never has been. Last year's INS race, I mean, for the most part, we were still on some sort of tread. For the Summer Series races, we're hardly ever... I can't remember being on slicks. I think didn't Aiden Horn and Tom try slicks and give it a big nope in two-wheel drive? But in four-wheel drive, you can get away with it. It's kind of like that Hutch race we were at. Emerson's car was amazing on slicks for four-wheel drive. But two-wheel drive, you know, you had to keep such a tight, fine line that it wasn't worth it. So... I'm going to try to order Smoothie 2s, and I will have some Bald Eagles as well from Proline, and just to have on hand. But like I said, I bet you see them on four-wheel drive. I doubt seriously that anybody will be on two-wheel drive with them. So last time I checked, Daniel, we had Smoothie 2s in four-wheel drives at the store. Like right now, in gold compound. Silver compound. Sorry, silvers. What time is it? Holy crap. Well, I made progress tonight, you guys. I was able to get the servo in place, because last week I was freaking out because I couldn't figure out how to get it in there. But like I said, I was kind of in a fog. And so I got that servo in place, got the spindles flipped. I'm going to do the same thing for the back, because I'm pretty sure that this goes like that for the back spindles, right? So, yeah, pretty sure that's what that's for right there. So, anyways, so we're making progress on this thing. I still haven't figured out what body I'm going to get for it now that I know that my brat body's way too big for it. It just wouldn't look right. It would look stupid. So I got to figure out what body I want to get for it. I might go with a bug body, and then just put a fro on it for my Fro Boy truck. So, but like I said, I think we're making progress here. So one of these days, we'll get it all running. Everything happens so slow with these guys. Oh, thanks, Jason. Yeah, it's the first time I did that. I had to figure out how to do it. The Patreon wants you to host, so you can't really upload to Patreon. You have to have a host for it to link to. So I just made it an unlisted video on YouTube, and then just loaded it up for you guys. So we're gonna do today. We're gonna do more of those. So the more videos I do, if I have any outtakes, we'll just do it like that. I think that's pretty funny, kind of fun, something different. And then I have the new owner and the old owner both lined up for an interview that's going to be exclusive to Patreon. So right now there's only 6 of you, but when those get loaded up, I'll announce it and we'll see if that number goes up at all. So, but yeah, the new owner is all ready to go. We just got to find a time, and then the old owner, he said give him another month or so. So, so that should be some really good content for the Patreon viewers. Peter, my wife was mad because the building locks, right, and you have to have a card or whatever to get in, or a number to know. And my sister and Richard were working on something, and I needed to run out in the car because I had my roadie mic out in the car, and I'd asked her to hold the door for me or to let me back in. And there's 2 doors. There's one to the outside and there's one to the inside. And the inside one is the one that locks, and the outside one you can come in and out all you want to. So I went out to the car and grabbed my mic, and then I ran back in. And when I came back in, she was at the second door looking right at me, and I was like, "You were supposed to hold the door open for me." And so I was giving her crap, and then she was mad about it. So that's why she was mad at me. That's pretty funny. And then we were testing out the mic, and that's when I took that film. So that's and well, I hope she's asleep, but basically it's on Patreon, so she's never going to see that, and we're not going to tell her either. So because then she'll be even more mad at me that I put that out there for you guys. Okay, I think I'm dragging, so I'm going to go to bed. And we got a lot of stuff going on at the store. You're going to be seeing some cosmetic changes, some more product being brought in. Yeah, we got a lot going on, and we're going to try to get it all done in a very short period of time. So we're going to be busy. Very, very busy. So with that, I'm going to leave. You guys, thanks for tuning in. We were on here for about an hour and 15 minutes. Sorry I started late. I'm trying to start by 9 o'clock, but sometimes that doesn't always work out. So, anyways, yeah, the bathroom lock's getting fixed. I'm gonna bring that up to Nick's dad. Jeff Pavel's gonna be there Saturday, I think, or Sunday, to work on getting the bathrooms back open, and we'll we'll discuss that because we need to get some quality door locks. Because what happens every time that we buy a new lock, they end up getting messed up anyways. So we'll try to get that taken care of. Yeah, because this sucks trying to poop, knowing that at any moment somebody could walk in the door. So it's really hard. It's very difficult. I totally understand. So, all right, I'm really leaving. I'll see you guys later. If not tomorrow, or maybe this weekend.